Lovers of lore, thank you for joining me for the first installment of the Duskmourn House of Horrors story. This one is laying the groundwork for what's going to come. So the story starts in the past, in a neighborhood with homes out of the 1980s, neutral beige and gray, except for one house on the corner. It was an old oddity with gargoyles and a slanted cupola, dirty windows, and an unkempt garden. A family arrived in a motorized carriage. These were the house's new owners. As they approached the home, the door swung open and the curtains fluttered, unsettling the new owners. The movers must have left it unlocked, they thought. The interior of the home was covered in glittering dust. The daughter, Marina, noticed that the basement door was open. She thought that she saw something down there, but her mother called her away before she could go and check. The story then switches to the present. Kaido was in Kamigawa, infiltrating a moonfolk building high up in the skies of Kamigawa. He was there looking for a scroll that had belonged to Tamio, so he could return it to her adopted son Nashi. The Wanderer abruptly showed up to tell Kaido that Nashi had gone missing. After he successfully stole the scroll, the Wanderer explained that Nashi had been gone for 3 months. He had heard the voice of his dead mother calling to him through a strange door. He sent multiple drones in, but the drone surveillance hadn't helped him. So Nashi and a few friends entered the door and were never heard from again. The Wanderer had located a similar door on Ravnica, being guarded by Niv Mizzet. The Wanderer had lost her spark, so she needed a planeswalker's help. Kaido agreed to help her and form a team, so he planeswalked to Kaldheim to get Tyvar. He located Tyvar punching a wolf's lights out. Tyvar was more than happy to journey through a dangerous realm with Kaido. Tyvar suggested they bring Nico Eris as well, who just happened to be on Kaldheim, and the three traveled to Ravnica. Nico and Tyvar no longer had their sparks, and Nico was clearly bitter about this. They were met by Zimone when they arrived on Ravnica. She was a student from Strixhaven. She was also Niv Mizzet's emissary, and she took them to meet the dragon. The Wanderer and Aminatau were already there. Atrata was on hand to manage Ravnica's researchers who wouldn't be going with them, and Proft was also in attendance. They were led to a cherry door that had moths and branches carved in it. Aminatau drew back. "This door can hear us." So Niv Mizzet led them to a tent where they could talk privately out of earshot of the door. Nashi's drones had captured footage and they reviewed it. It looked to be a normal house, but somehow distorted. Aminatau refused to enter the door. "If the danger in that house claimed me," she said, "it would be disastrous." She was a fate mage, a fact that nettled Nico, who didn't believe in fate. Nonetheless, Aminatau provided the search team with fate shifters. These were tokens of her power that would allow each of them to jump backwards in time by 1 minute if they made a choice that doomed them. Each person could only benefit from this magic once, and the doom would be transmitted to everyone so they would know what had happened. The tokens were carved wooden likenesses of each party member. Atrata gave them all monitoring devices that would transmit information about the house back to Ravnica. They approached the door to Duskmourn, ready to depart, and the door opened of its own accord. Blue energy filled the doorway as the party entered, and after they went through, the door closed on its own. So that sums up the first installment of the Duskmourn story. As I said, it is really just laying the groundwork, so we're going to get into more meat of the story with the next installment. Thanks for coming by, my friends. Big shout out to the channel's members and patrons. Thank you for supporting what I do here. I'll see you for the next installment, and remember, lore is life.